on? Derek Johnson with Tatango.com. This is a special week in review where I'm looking at Black Friday messages with GIFs. I love GIFs, so this is going to be an awesome one for me. Again, Black Friday 2020, messages with GIFs. So let's jump right into it. Oh, but before I do, where am I getting these messages? SMSarchives.com. SMSarchives.com. Thousands of text messages, MMS messages, messages with GIFs, videos, whatever it is. You can search them all, filter. It's a really cool service from hundreds of brands, top brands in the United States. Definitely a good resource for any text message marketer. All right, so let's jump right into it. Ulta Beauty. So this is a beautiful text message, and actually it's not a text message or an SMS message, it's an MMS message. That is because you can include images, GIFs, videos in an MMS message. So if you see a message with a GIF in it, it is going to be an MMS message. So they're starting off right off the top with the subject, which is specific to an MMS message, which will always be bold. Black Friday deals are live now. And then they go, it's here, Black Friday deals. And you can see, I think that's like a 3-image GIF because it's 3 images essentially rotating. Little small on the text, at the bottom and maybe at the top, but it's good and it's horizontal. That's up to you if you want to use a more vertical image because you get a little more screen real estate. But the colors on this thing are great. You have the dark blue, you have the kind of, what is that? Pinkish kind of, on the exterior. You want to stay away from white or black because you never know what kind of background the phone will have, and you don't want it to blend into the phone. But this is great. It depends. What I would have done is maybe on the exterior, I would have put some images of the products. It depends on the brand though, but product, usually what performs best is product and text and like animation. So, but all of them on one thing, that performs the best. So many deals, so little time. I love how this is just a real simple text message. But if you're going to use an MMS message, no matter if it's GIF, image, video, whatever it is, don't use the link preview. Just have the phone, just put the blue link in there. Don't have the phone render it. There are some tactics. You can contact us or look on our website. We've talked about this hundreds of times. Because the link preview here just looks horrible. They don't even have a favicon, I think, on their website. It's not really adding any value. So if you're going to use an image, a video, GIF in an MMS message, use the blue link and don't have the phone on Android or iOS preview the link. You don't want that. All right, let's jump to the next one. Eloquai? I don't know. Somebody drop a comment below and let me know how to pronounce it. Right off the bat, big, bold image, awesome. They're using up a lot of the space. Black, I don't know. It looks really good on my phone, but if you had a black background, it might kind of look a little weird or kind of like washed out almost. But because they have the gold stuff in there, I think that looks really good. Good use of the text though, huge text, not crazy animations. I think it just grabs my attention. The problem I see is down here at the bottom. This message is just completely jumbled. Now, at least they're not using the link preview. That's a blue link, that's correct. But they gotta put some paragraph breaks in here. Like I'm looking at this and I'm like, my eye jumps right to 50% off everything plus free. There's so many. They even got like a little star thing there. They got the and symbol. It just looks like a jumbled kind of mess. Use paragraph breaks. It's so simple. You just click the return button on your keyboard twice and it takes the text here, then it puts a space, and then it just makes it easier. I guarantee if I go and look at some of their email marketing campaigns, they use paragraph breaks all the time, but for some reason, brands are not getting it right now that in SMS and MMS, use paragraph breaks. It makes it easier to read the message. Therefore, customers will read it, and then they'll hopefully click on it. If they can read the message, then you'll get a higher ROI. All right, but good image though. Another good image here too. One thing right off the bat though I'm noticing is on the top and definitely on the left-hand side, if you're not aware, with MMS messages, when you upload them essentially, and you send them to a mobile phone, the phone is actually previewing the message when you look at it. If you actually click on the message, which no one ever does, it will expand the message to the full thing and you'll be able to see everything. So if you click on this message, you'll see that the black border looks really good. But did you know that in an MMS message or, image or GIF, the left portion is actually cut off more than the right portion, which you can see here. So I'm going to link below, I'll have somebody link below, to a PDF we created that shows exactly what the size needs to be of the images, vertical, horizontal, square, whatever, and then where the cutoff zones are, so you can see exactly where they are, and you can see that I'm telling the truth, that on the left-hand side, it's cut off a little bit more than the right-hand side. But overall, really cool. I like, really cool how they're using tinsel, because it's not like just a blue or pink background. I don't think I've seen a tinsel background, which is kind of cool. So maybe also look through like eye-catching backgrounds, and it doesn't need to be just a color. It could be, tinsel or leaves or something like that. And then I love the text. I like the text, how it's kind of like, it feels like it's dropping. I think they did a really good job. Bottom, obviously, paragraph breaks, just to break up the message. And then also, this one is a good example. Text stop to end, you only need to put that in once per month. You can put it in more, but always put it at the very, very bottom. Put some paragraph breaks. So it's right now it's taking away from the whole message, which is not the point. And then also the link, make sure it's clear what you want them to do. Drop the tinsel, 50% off site-wide Black Friday event has arrived. And then tell them, click here to shop, or click here, to shop and get 50% off, or like be very clear with your customer what you want them to do. All right, next one is Urban Decay. Cool. Look at this. It's kind of like a 60s retro, kind of image. The only thing that's animated here is the very little top thing. You can tell though, some of the text here on this MMS GIF is a little too small, like the limited time only, and then whatever, I can't even see it. I'm trying to look, shop now. It's very, very small. And I'm on a bigger screen, so it's going to be very small on a phone. One thing I'm noticing here is never have something that looks like a button in an MMS message. The reason being is you can't click on an MMS, image or a GIF or video. You can't click on it. It doesn't go to a website like email. So I'm most likely they're repurposing some stuff from email where you can click on the image and go to the website. So make sure you never put a button or even shop now or something. Like, you have to make it very clear that this is not a button. And then they're using, some really cool they're breaking it up. They have a lot of capital letters here, obviously. Then they have the shop now, which is good. And then all the stuff at the very bottom. It's a good message. The top though, with all those capital letters, I would definitely keep breaking it up and make it a longer message, because it looks really jumbled and it's hard to read. I think their intent was good, but I think it makes it really hard to read. All right, let's jump to the next one. I think this is the last one. This one is actually really cool. This is from Liquid IV. Again, bottom, the link preview, just put a link there, the blue link. But let's look at this GIF. How cool is that? Essentially it's the image is filling it up, which looks really cool. And then they have the blue background, they have the white text, everything looks really good. They're getting close on the size, but it's still, readable. Use code holiday30. I love this image, and the background looks really cool. It's really, blue and bright. I think they did a really good job. In the message, you again put some paragraph breaks in there, so you got a little more space, just to break things up. And then obviously shop now is a good call to action, but you want to put the blue link in there, because this just does not look good when you're using a link preview, and the link preview doesn't even have an optimized image. It's like, and then the title is it says all. Like, that makes no sense. And it ruins the entire message. Put a blue link in there. Don't let it link preview. And then this would have been like an amazing message. Like, all my attention would have been at the top. Right now, it's kind of getting split between this weird thing at the bottom and this awesome thing at the top. So anyway, my name is Derek Johnson with Tatango.com. This has been the top 5 Black Friday messages with GIFs in them. Again, you can find all these messages at smsarchives.com.